dear students, today we will focus on a sentence. We will focus on sentence. We will focus on sentence. Anybody among you who will just you will just say something about sentence or give meaning of sentence? Anybody among you? A group of words. A group of words. Words. A group of words that a group of words that give us huh? A group of words that give us meaningful sense. Okay. Or we can say a group of words that give us complete meaning. Okay. Okay. A group of words that give us complete sense. That is the meaning of complete sentence. Okay. So it's simply a sentence. The definition of sentence. For example, if I would write here, he goes. For example, there are two words. Okay, there are two words. One and this. He goes to. These words are not given as complete. They does not give us complete. I am is not giving complete. Okay. Similarly, we can say same is the case with, for example, if there is one more, we can say, for example, once the words are given complete sentence that form the sentence. Yes, students. If we talk of sentence, we can say this sentence is actually there are these parts of sentence. Two parts of sentence. Look. There are two parts of sentence. I will explain here the two parts of the sentence. In a sentence, there are always two parts. Okay. For example, I am talking of sentence. Sentence. One element of this sentence is phrase. Okay. And second one is clause. Second one is phrase and clause. Look, dear students, I will just write here a sentence and I will explain the phrase and clause of that particular sentence. Look, like he goes to school. He goes to school on time. He goes to school on time. Listen. He goes to school on time. This he here it is, what is it? No, here he is as a subject. It is subject. He is subject. And goes is no. Let me explain. This he is here subject in a sentence, and goes signifies what? Verb. Okay. For example, in a tense I mentioned so many how to design a sentence. Like we talk about the present tense, we talk about past tense, we talk about future tense. Okay. So we are using so many forms of verb in a tense. Okay. That describes the time, that expresses time. Similarly, for example, here, if I would talk like this, if I would say, I am saying he goes to school on time. Here he acts as subject and goes verb. Listen here, students. He goes, it gives us to some extent a meaning. Okay? It gives us meaning. So listen, if I will say he goes to school on time, this once there is subject and verb, it makes, for example, there is not a kind of combination between subject and when there is not a combination between subject and this is called when, listen, there is not a combination there is not a combination between subject and verb. It's called a phrase. It's called a phrase. So there is no combination. If there is no combination between subject and verb, are you getting me? It's called a phrase. There is no combination between subject and verb. Let me explain. For example, I am saying that he goes to school on time. He goes to school on time. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When there is no combination, if I talk of on time, if you talk of
On time.
what? There is neither subject neither verb. He goes. This is subject. Goes is verb. On time, neither there is subject neither there is verb. So this is phrase. This is
Phrase.
what is it? In a sentence when there is not subject and this verb combination. Subject and verb combination. When there is not subject and verb combination, there is we can simply say it is phrase. For example, he works very slowly. Listen. Second example. Listen. He works very slowly. Wait. Listen to it. Phrase and clause. Second sentence. He works. He works. Listen. When this one is here subject. This one is this one is he is subject. He is subject. Obviously, it is subject to somebody. Okay. Works. Somebody is doing some kind of activity. It is verb. It shows action. It shows. So this is verb. This is. Okay. He works. When there is subject and verb combination. In phrase, there is not subject and verb combination. When there is subject and verb combination, that is clause. Okay, there is a combination between subject and verb. This one depicts here clause. It depicts. Why it depicts clause? Because there is subject and verb. It gives us to some extent a kind of meaning. Okay. For example, he works. It's not a complete sentence, but he works. When there is a kind of combination between the two subject and verb, is simply called what is it? It is clause. When there is not subject, for example, he works very slowly. Okay? He works very slowly. If we talk of slowly, what is it? No. Clause is the subject and verb combination. Slowly, neither there is verb, neither there is. Are you getting me? I am saying that there is not any kind of combination between the two. Subject and verb is not, they are not in a sentence. If we talk of this one slowly, there is not any simply any combination. Okay? When there is not combination, it is simply phrase. It's called the subject and verb combination makes clause. When there is not subject and verb combination, it is simply phrase. It is phrase. So in this sentence, he works very slowly. Subject, verb, that is clause. Slowly, simply what? Phrase. In a first sentence, he goes to school. On time. Okay? He goes to school on time. Here, subject and verb. Subject and verb. And this one? Phrase and this one? clause. So in a sentence there are two things. There are two elements. There are two units. One is called clause and second one is called a phrase. When a clause and phrase in a sentence they are actually in a sentence, it is making a meaningful sense. When the sentence like this, he goes to school on time, it gives us complete sense. It gives us complete sense. Why it gives us complete sense? Because there are subject and clause. Okay, in a sentence, when we talk about any sentence, there is always a subject and, for example, there is a meaningful sentence. Meaningful sentence is possible when one of subject and clause both are working in a sentence. Both are in a sentence. When they are in a sentence, it simply makes complete sentence. So phrase and clause. Phrase and clause are actually the parts of a sentence. Okay, these are the elements of the sentence. This makes a complete sentence. So this like phrase, like I talk of this the connectivity between the combination between subject and verb. When there is combination between two subject and verb, it means simply clause. There is simply, when you should remember that once in one occasion or in one time when there is subject and verb, it simply makes clause. Okay, these two are working. There is a combination between this and this is simply what? This is clause. And when there is not a combination between subject and verb, we can say that is phrase. That is phrase. Similarly, phrase and clause in a sentence makes a complete meaning. So it is a sentence. It is a sentence. So a group of words that give us complete sentence, and that is possible because of phrase and clause. So these phrase and two clause, when there is actually in a sentence, when we got or when we have or when we possess phrase and clause, it makes a complete sentence. This is simply a sentence. This is the concept I'm talking about sentence. So any sentence, we can't expect any sentence with complete meaning without phrase and clause. So verb, as you know, verb shows action. Subject is somebody is talking. I am, for example, I am working. I am here as a subject because I am, for example, I is a subject. He is a subject. They are a, if you talk of they are working, that means they is a subject. If I say I am working, I am subject. I will say he is working, that is he is here subject. Working, playing, acting, okay, raining, whatever. This is the verb. This is, it shows action. It shows action. So the action and this. When action and this subject is in a sentence, it is simply a clause. It is a combination. There is a combination. There is clear combination between both. It makes it to some. It makes slight this meaning. That is, if I would say he works. He is not a complete sentence, but he works. It makes sense to some extent. That is, it is simply, we can say it is a clause. But we will say, if we say a combination like he works very slowly. He works very slowly. So the subject, what I say, the phrase and clause both are working in a sentence, it makes a complete sentence. It is simply a sentence. So always remember, phrase and clause. Phrase and clause in a sentence makes complete sentence. Meaning it's understand it's because of the two elements of a sentence that makes complete meaning of a sentence. Or that is a sentence. Okay? Yes, are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Any confusion?
No, sir.
Let's begin.